And here we are in the upper left. He took down Solar to get here. His name is Cure.
He's thought of one other Dragon Phoenix gamer already. Will he be able to beat another one? The Alpha X, RAGNAROK. He's beaten Rogue in the ZVZ. I mean, the ZVT built for different matchup here, you know? Wait, okay, do you think he's gonna get as aggressive in this matchup as he would be in the Solar games that we saw, or?
You know, in my prep, I said yes. It's actually kind of funny, by the way. These players played in Group E of the GSL in the round of 20.
Okay.
Right? But they didn't play each other.
Oh.
It was the one matchup that like
funny.
didn't get played, where Cure got bopped out in third place, Bunny in fourth because he had a broken hand. I mean, no doubts there. But RAGNAROK topped the group. And he did so by doing proxy hatchery shenanigans all over the place. So I expected we would see something like that, but the answer is no. It's going to be a standard opener from our Alpha X Zerg, at least for the moment.
Yeah, exactly. You could just ramp it up at any moment in time as the Zerg almost, if you really want to. At the same time, I want to talk about RAGNAROK overall because I feel like he's a player that has these massive kind of changes in his playstyle almost, because for a really long time, before that previous GSL that I saw him in, I always kind of had the impression that he was really trying to get a good grasp of the late game. You know, it felt like he was grinding that late game. Pretty much every ZVP he was doing in particular, he would be aiming towards that late game. He would be quite happily approaching it or trying to, getting to those spellcasters and such. And now, all of a sudden, it looks like he's kind of gone back to a bit of a ways of old, where he's dipping his toes back into the cheesy kiddie pool. I don't know if you could call it a kiddie. It just sounds nice, you know, tipping his toes back in the kiddie pool. But yeah, you know what I mean.
Yep, and
I hope.
No, I have no. Kozan, please explain it to me again. I have no idea what you were saying. I'm so confused right now.
No.
You were talking about. While you were talking about Olympic swimming, this is a StarCraft game.
I was, yeah. It's just, it's my true passion.
Yeah, you can just do a nice, wonderful freestyle up through. Well, actually, we can't do that because this is Curious Minds. It's not 2,000 atmospheres. But we should talk about, and this is something that RAGNAROK should have an idea of because there's 6 Marines out on the map. This is a 2-1-1. Actually, wait, was this a 3-Rax play? No, yeah, it looks like it's I think it's a 3-Rax play.
Could be 3.
Yeah, this is just a weird stim time. He's going to run out on the map with 8 Marines. Yeah, there we go, 3-Rax play. Yep. But he's going to run out on the map here with a lot of Marines early. Force Lings out of RAGNAROK because with builds like this, RAGNAROK wants to be as greedy as possible. Well, you get Marines out early, you force units out from the Zerg player, make things rather complicated, and the Roachborn's not yet done. So these Marines could maybe get something, but already Curious is like, yeah, look, I know I forced units. I know I did that. So I'm just going to run back now. I'm going to keep these 8 Marines alive, and I'm going to make my push even scarier.
Yeah, RAGNAROK not really taking the bait though. I'm still seeing mostly drones. Sure, he made a couple of extra links, but he was very quick with sending one of his own links out of his own base, trying to figure out, are you actually attacking me? Do I have to make units right now, or could I still get away with a bit of extra droning? So, yeah, having a good read on the situation there. Less over there, losing a couple of Zerglings, but sometimes that's the price for getting a good read on the situation, of course.
Yeah, certainly. So, Roaches are now on the way. We're seeing army supply start to eclipse what Cure has. And yes, Stim combat shields do serve as a wonderful force multiplier. We can't just say, oh, look at the supply. The Zerg has more. But, I mean, RAGNAROK knows exactly. He knows exactly what happens here in this game. So more and more Roaches are on the way. He says, look, I got enough Roaches now. Let's move back into Lings or into drones, as he will find himself supply blocked for a moment. Ling's not going to get too much here. But Cure's going to have to be super judicious with his stims. Yeah, he has combat shields. It's less expensive. it's still extremely expensive. So we're gonna have to see how this works. Dropping a scan to knock an Overlord down. That is nice, of course. It means that the Marines can maneuver a little bit easier, and it's also going to supply block Ragnarok. But there are plentiful roaches, and this is not going to find the value that Kira was looking for. Not at all.
Look at how patient he's being with this stim. I would have stimmed twice already there, you know? It's like, oh no, that's a lot of roaches. I'd be trying to get out of that, but not a single stim at all. Very nice.
Well, that's just why Kira's won a GSL and you haven't, Kozan. That's the one difference.
That's yeah, that's it.
Right there.
Man, next year, I'll fix that mistake.
So here's the interesting thing, though. I read the Roach Warren as, okay, this is the response. Right, I'm going to get a Roach Warren versus a 3-Rex. It's going to be fine. But it's interesting to see Ragnarok just commit. I mean, I guess if you built 10 roaches, 12 roaches, you're kind of just, look, sunk cost is I'm going to commit to it. But it's interesting to see Ragnarok commit into effectively a 1-1 roach timing out of this instead of going Ling Bane because of just how successful Kira has been in his drop play as of late.
Yeah, I mean, the drop play, we saw it work out in the previous series for him as well, versus Solar, and makes sense. I'm seeing siege tanks on that production tab as well, though. It makes me a little bit, you know, disappointed. I still prefer the Widowmines, but then again, he's playing against roaches, so what are you gonna do?
Well, you're gonna get. Oh, Medevac goes down with units still inside. Nice job there, Spore. I mean, it didn't really do anything, just kind of maintain targeting. But you know what? We're gonna give it credit regardless, because sometimes even the inanimate objects in our lives, Kozan, they need to be told they're doing a good job, so they don't, you know, break on us right when we need them. But Cure on the north side, knocking down some creep. That's fine. Oh, he's gonna find the 4th base here. This is an odd spot for Ragnarok to go, and yeah, that's gonna get canceled. Nice little bit of serendipity there from Ragnarok.
Yeah, he's also getting quite a lot of his creep tomb is killed. Well, starts up another 4th. It's moments like these where I wouldn't be too upset if you just, you know, take the two 4th bases. Just take both of them. If one of them dies, then you have the other one still.
But yeah, we have Roach Burrow on the way. Where we burrow, move, and burrow.
That's an interesting point, BeoMulf. What? No, you don't see that too often in this matchup, do you? It's normally because there's gonna be a missile turret in most of the mineral lines.
I mean, burrow movement's cheap.
It is. It also gives the regen, right? So if you do try to do harassment with the roaches, if later down the line you want to like trade out these roaches for better units, you're going to be able to trade them out a lot better. Be a lot more efficient with them still.
Now, Kozan, you're thinking of old Tunnel Claws. This one just makes them move speedy and move well burrowed.
Really? They took that out?
Yeah, they nerfed that a while ago.
Really?
You can't blame that.
Well, I'll be down.
You can't blame the balance there anymore. Look at this drop, though. Yeah, we see a Medevac going down. That's 789 workers going down. 3 Ravagers. I'm surprised we don't see Cure killing those. They're expensive. But 17 workers go down, Kozan. This is why Roach techs, they start to feel scary. It's so hard to defend everywhere where you need to be.
Oh, that is so rough. That is so rough. I mean, Cure had on workers there for a short moment. And, well, Ragnarok, he's still on those roaches. He's getting the infestation pits as well with this, so still a bit away. I'm not seeing any Hydra Den. I'm not sure if he's going to go for that. And there's the missile turret, kind of ruining his entire day. Gets a couple of mules with the burrowed roaches. It's probably where the day ends for those guys, though.
I mean, I gotta say, I'm somewhat surprised to see Ragnarok playing like this. All right, so you get roaches. You hold off the 3 racks, you're totally fine. You should theoretically then be able to hit with a sledgehammer of a 1-1 roach push. Or you go for really quick 2-2. You get really quick infestation pit. You get Hydra Den. You go into lurkers, and then you do whatever you want from there. But going into melee, going to Ling Bane out of this, I don't know if I think we should have Baneling speed. I don't remember. this is an old school style, and it's just by trying to play defensive with roaches, you just give the Terrans so much room to really do whatever they want on the map. And that has led to Cure sitting here. His 2-1 is done. His armor's a little bit slow, but with effectively, actually not effectively, with superior upgrades, with a fully maxed out army, tons of tanks, this is a damn hard army for RAGNAROK to fight.
Yeah, he's gonna have to land the most magnificent biles he's ever landed. And he's gonna have to land quite a couple of them. And to be fair, the Marine Bio is fighting away from the siege tanks, but apparently he only needed the supporting fire of one of them to make those roaches all turn tail and run. Quite a wonderful job there for Kjør, as he is starting to pressure into the, well, originally third or fourth base.
And 50 supply falls really in the blink of an eye. RAGNAROK getting nothing done with the Burrowed Roach Harass, getting nothing done defending that base. And yeah, sure, he's got 4 bases now, but he's got... Look at this tank spread. It's so hard. It's going to be so hard for RAGNAROK to do what he wants to do. And the army's just evaporating. That's it. GG. Cure, he had to lead for a while, but that was the moment where he won the game. Cure's up 1-0. And the bottom left here in the gold, he's up 1. It's Cure.
Top right side needs to win 2 games. The blue Zerg from Alpha X. Ragnarok. Also known as RAGNAROK.
The Ender of Days. Or an actual person, if we're to believe, what was it? Thor. Most recent Thor movie.
Oh, I don't know. I thought you were talking about World of Warcraft. They made him a guy as well. He's a guy in there, right? The molten guy with the hammer, and he's fiery.
I am a bad Well, are any of us actually Blizzard fans? I'm a bad Blizzard IT fan, in that I've never played WoW.
Oh, that's rough. Ragnarok. Oh. Okay, so he had a different name. All right. I mean, it's probably inspired by, right?
No, very different. 100% totally different. Absolutely, just like, you know what? We're gonna pick 12 random, however many letters Ragnarok is. We're gonna pick 8 random letters. And it's just gonna happen to be the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. You just kind of take the name that you think like, yeah, this is kind of the idea, and then you change 2 letters or 3 maybe, switch them around, and you're like, there, you know, has the same feeling, brings it back into your mind, and then it's no, it's a new thing. It's a new thing.
Well, apparently it's even Ragnaros, so
wow,
doubly wrong.
We both were wrong.
Well, I didn't even try.
No, I meant some drunk Canadian was also wrong then. He's going to bed now. Well, that's a good idea. The Molten Kobolds, right? Yeah, what was his name? Wasn't it Rag? Everyone just called him Rag, right? And then, I don't know. You think Ragnarok named himself after the Nordish god guy, or after the guy from the Thor movies, or after the guy from World of Warcraft and then accidentally typoed his name?
Well, you know what? I could talk about that. I could answer your question. Or I could mention the fact that there are a lot of lings on the way here for Ragnarok. Timing it out with speed. Yeah, it was a pull first. But we don't normally see all that much Ragnarok in this winner's match, so he has a series to give. He says, look, I don't think you're going to wall this off. If I just flood you with lings, you're not going to expect this. And by the way, folks, this was reactor. There is no factory done yet. There are no Reapers. There are no Hellions. So Ragnarok running on in. He's not going to delay the low ground. And look at that. We got the hot pickup into the command center as well, because Orbital was not yet started. So the SCVs, they stay alive. And yeah, sure, Ragnarok breaks the low ground, but the high ground, that is a very different matter. There are no Banes, there are no Roaches. Baneling Bus is the thing of 5 years ago anyways, or Raynor now if you want to do that. But this is not going to work. And already, Drone's on the way. He says, look, I'm just not going to let you mine for the low ground. I hope that's enough damage.
You know, I like to think it's the Norse mythology guy. Sorry, I just had to bring it back.
Again, remember...
This is a rough spot now for Kjør, isn't it? Man.
Yeah. Well, no, it's... I mean, he kept all of his SCVs alive. He's eventually going to be able to pump down here. I don't think Ragnarok got enough damage. Right? I mean, you're not really building SCVs out of that command center anyways. You just buy time for orbital. And he built 20 Lings. Those are drones that he does not have. He went for early pool. Those are drones he does not have. It's not a good situation. We're going to have to see whether he goes from there, because there is a lair on the way. This feels like it might be quick mutas out of that. If he could just pin Cure back on a map like Hardwire, and maybe that's going to be enough.
I hope so. I hope so for him. Baneling Nest, more Zerglings. It's... It's just going to be a little bit of a moment here. See whether or not Cure can bring up enough of the goods with the triple racks. How many Marines did he lose? Wasn't that many, right? He pretty much kept them all safe. For some at the outside, I saw one in the mineral line dying, but it's 26 versus 26 supply. Baneling Nest about to finish up. That should be pretty good for Ragnarok overall, especially now that he sees the exact timing as those Marines are running out.
Yeah, but Kozan,
good for him.
Remember, these Marines, they have stim, they do have combat shields as well. So, yeah, sure. You know, having Banelings are nice, but Baneling speed has not yet been started, even though Lair is done. The plan for this was to go into mutas, by the way. This is for gas. But, no, that's not going to be allowed to happen. This 3-Rax play is going to just go try to take Ragnarok's head off before the end of days can truly start. And we're going to have to see how well Cure can deal with this, because the Queens are going to push off here on the edge of things. That's a big HP buffer. And Ragnarok is building his units. He does have a Spire on the way. Cure is once again not committing to this, because he's saying, look, I bought enough time. I did the damage by forcing units out of you when you really wanted nothing more than to just drone.
Yeah, definitely not the time for him to do that at this moment. Not seeing a third base for Cure yet either, are we? Was that on the production tab?
Yeah, no third base just yet. This was a 3-1-1 out of a aggressive Zerg opener, so no third base just yet. This is effectively, I mean, this is what we saw in... What was it? Game 3 of the Solar Series? So.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, we got Medivacs getting added on in here. I think that was a tank. Yeah, there's a tank in that Medivac as well. It's only one, so it's not one-shotting Banelings just yet. But of course, Banelings without speed, not all that great. I gotta give a shout out to Solar here. This creep spread with all the pressure, or I'm sorry, not Solar, Ragnarok. With the everything that he's been doing in this game, this creep spread is still rather good. So it takes a moment for Cure to really push on in. And folks, if we look at the minimap, there's a big surround getting set on up here, just waiting for Cure to maybe go a little bit too far, waiting for Baneling speed in 2-1. Now, is he going to go for the break? It looks like that answer is going to be yes, but the Bio is a little bit far away from the tanks. Good target fire there, knocking down a lot of these Banes, and the target fire there from the Marines as well. The Banelings, they are not going to get targeted down at the end of things. It's one pickup, one set of Marines, 8 of them that do survive off of that, but the tank has not been dealt with. And so the push remains, the rally continues, but now here we go. Ling's gonna get on in once again. The Marines that don't get up, well, they're dead. The tanks are gonna go down here. What a hold from, the Baneling connection at the end. Fantastic hold here from Ragnarok, but he's lost so many mutas.
That's true, but I mean, Cure's third base only just now getting started. That is a little bit worrisome overall. Ragnarok could start taking his fourth base pretty soon. I wouldn't be too upset with him if he starts taking it around this time period, really. There he goes.
Okay, so in this game, upgrades are tremendously late for the Zerg, because again, his early pressure found 0 damage. I mean, sure, it lifted the base up, but that's about it. +1 is done here for Cure, so he hits really hard, but still, he will die regardless of what happens. His army will die to these Banes. And the Lings and all that stuff. Oh, Medevac's moving a little bit too far forward here. That's a problem. We got Lings and Mutas there knocking down the reinforcements. So if Ragnarok can clear this out, he's going to have by himself a little bit more time. That's a double. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. That's a double wall there. That's not something you see all that often. Just make damn sure that no run-bys are all that effective after the game he had versus Solar on Blackburn. this position from Cure is becoming less powerful by the moment.
We've been seeing this double wall from Cure as well in the qualifiers. It's really cool. It's like, yeah, of course. I mean, you still need the supply depots, right? So why not just make another little line there, just in case? Run-bys are so often, you know, the reason why Zerg suddenly still make a comeback happen in a game in the TVZ matchup. So, yeah, it's such a nice play, and it makes me wonder why not more people are trying to do this. A little push from Cure trying to poke down this base. It's going to get abandoned by RAGNAROK, so a pick of for Cure there. A little notch on his belt. Yet again, another fourth base is being constructed by RAGNAROK. Meanwhile, Cure only now taking that third base location. It's been quite a bit before he's finally made this expansion go in mine somewhere.
And this is an interesting game we got here. I mean, it's just tons and tons of aggression that realistically have not found too much value. Yes, Cure broke the third base, but by then already RAGNAROK had another third. It's not like, well, 3-base Terran versus 3-base Zerg. Well, no. The third base of Cure is just there right. It's just getting done right now. So fourth base, just about done here. RAGNAROK getting his macro hatch as well. Mutas can finally run their way onto the other side of the map. The one downside, again, the two downsides. First of all, it was single single Evo chamber upgrades for a little bit. That's a problem. And this fifth base will go down once again. That was canceled at the very least, so not the repetitive kills that we saw versus Solar. But the Mutas don't have upgrades. It does mean that they're not going to be nearly as powerful over the course of this game, which is a bit annoying. But for now, we're going to see the army looking to run on forward, looking to break things. Banelings, though, they do not want to run forward into that tank line. You got to stay on creep here, RAGNAROK. That is his game plan. But the army of Cure continues to grow, continues to be more powerful, especially now, as we said, that third base, it's done.
A couple of Lings do have their eyes on it. There's a couple of Marines starting to run in there. Should be able to tighten the defenses overall. The aggression for Cure starting to pick up the pace a little bit. Not that much creep remaining in front of this base right here. So that could start getting taken out as well. As if RAGNAROK finds a way to diminish those numbers of Marines and siege tanks there. Well enough, another little bit of a run by here. Gets the missile turret. Nothing much else though.
And this is a terrifying army setup that we got from Cure here. His 2-2 is on the way, but still he's got a 1 upgrade lead. This third base under tremendous threat now. RAGNAROK saying, I gotta make it happen right here, right now. But the army coming on in on the north side. Yeah, sure, the army on the south gets cleaned up, but the Banelings going around a corner. That's not what you want here. It is only Mutas that remain here in this winner's match. And unfortunately, it looks like it's not gonna be a winner's match for RAGNAROK. It's a winner's match for Cure. The army is falling. The game is falling. Cure, he advances out in first place in Group B.